SME Channels Accelerator Awards 2024, which happens to be India's largest channel event, is very much here. As a key participant, how do you view events of this magnitude and scale?
First of all, I think from our perspective, being the largest distributor of the country, I think it's important to understand that we are in exponential times. We used to talk about digitization at some point in time. Things shifted to digitalization, and now things have shifted to making a digital transformation, right? Now, digital transformation is something that happens basically at the enterprise level, combining all the processes. For all the partners who are here today, there are hundreds of them basically, right? A lot of those partners are basically doing businesses for one or two products in a particular segment. Digitization and digitalization could have been handled actually at that point in time. Digital transformation needs to be handled with a lot of collaboration, right? So not everybody can actually sell everything, but you need to collaborate. You need to collaborate in terms of services, in terms of different kind of products, in terms of various kind of solutions. And these kind of forums, I think, make a lot of difference to the skill sets of partners, to their partnerships, to give the right kind of offerings basically to their customers. So I think it's very critical, and I'm really happy to see the presence of all the partners here, really connecting with each other, and connecting with each other to actually look at how they're going to shape the future. So very, very positive outlook, basically.
When it comes to sitting at the front seat and driving a massive digitalization, Redington has been scripting a surreal success. I would like to understand what is the holy grail behind this success story.
So Redington, just to give a background, Redington is basically a 90,000 crore organization growing double digit consistently for many years. Thanks to our partners. We are present basically in geographies which are emerging geographies, which is fast growing geographies. And basically what we do is we reduce technology friction. Okay, we reduce the barriers that delay the adoption of technology. How do we actually do that? And let me take a step back. The rate of innovation of technology is like a curve going up. The rate of adoption of technology is a linear curve. So this gap happens. And this gap happens basically because of reach, because of the know-how of products, because of compliance, regulatory things, a whole lot of things, right? Which is where Redington is able to bridge the gap. So having 60,000 channel partners, having 450 brands, having a presence across so many emerging geographies, I think plays a very critical role here. But I think the most important one for us to understand is that we are in exponential times. And in exponential times, how can a tech distributor basically grow? A tech distributor can get share of wallet from other customers. But if we have to grow, our partners have to grow. And you saw my presentation inside, and you saw the initiatives which we are taking. We have evolved from a traditional distributor to a value-added distributor to a distribution as a service. So the objective today for us is that how can we work as a trusted advisor to our partners to help them grow? Because without them growing, we cannot accelerate that business. We cannot get to an exponential business, right? So I think that's really the key, and that's working, because this is not really hard selling. This is really working with them as true partners, and that partnership is really bridging that gap.
What are the key roadblocks and challenges that Redington is currently facing when it comes to expansion of its business footprints?
So as I said, we are in exponential times. When you look at India, our GDP has grown to a level, we are going to add another 500 billion GDP every year in the next few years' time. We are operating internet at population scale today. We are basically looking at startups who became unicorn in 26 years. Today, they are taking less than 1 year to become a unicorn. Look at SMBs, look at public sector, look at consumer markets.
Incredible.
IT spending today, this year is basically $260 billion. It's going to be almost double basically by 2030. What do you have to do basically with such a growth? How do you basically cope up to such a growth? So I can tell you, we cannot even imagine the entire ecosystem of all these partners here, Redington here. If we don't do anything, we will grow. The point is that how do we actually shape the future for exponential growth?
Yes.
Now, the biggest challenge which we are going to have is skill sets. Growth is basically going to happen at such a humongous pace that we will not be able to catch up. I mean, we know that today. Talking to partners, I was there today interacting with so many partners. Yesterday, I was there in Calcutta. Before that, I was there in Chennai. And every partner today is having a challenge getting the right kind of skill sets. See, the other challenge which we are also having is the dynamics of every business is changing. We used to have salespeople actually telecall somebody, do mass marketing, and so on and so forth. And that's dead. 80% of the people actually absorb content which is there already on internet and websites and so many different channels, right? So people need to be present digitally, amongst all these. And we are so tied up in our transactions that we don't take a step back and start thinking about what's our narrative of the company. How do we really scale up marketing? How do we really scale up our skill sets? We don't need salespeople. We need salespeople to become trusted advisors to our customers, because our customers are having a different discussion today. Our customers are not telling us, that this is the PC we want and this is the networking we want, and they are actually telling us that how can you make a difference to my profitability basically of the organization?
Very true.
How can you actually get me more secure in terms of data? How can you actually get me on cloud? And all these discussions are basically digital transformation. Digital transformation cannot happen unless we actually, collaborate, unless we actually have end-to-end solutions, unless we try and understand the customer's perspective. And I think that customer connect, the scale of reach needs to increase, the skill sets. I think these are some of the biggest challenges which we need to foresee.
I think democratization of IT is one of the most hottest topics, and I'm glad that you brought that into the discussion. You touched upon it. One last question: what is your roadmap for 2025, the next year?
Look, our roadmap basically is scaling our partners. It's very, very clear. Having a distribution as a service, working with our partners to help them scale business, and this is not one size fits all. This is not one initiative which we have. Redington today has a gamut of initiatives which their partners can basically leverage on today. It's important for all the channel partners to really have a discussion with distributors like Redington, with OEMs, and it's like building a community together. We have today an initiative called Mission 300, a mission to digitally transform 300 towns and cities of the country, and it's an ongoing initiative with various, a calendar of various gamut of solutions. We have forums which are partner roundtables, learning and connecting with each other. We have digital marketing and account-based marketing, a whole lot of initiatives around that. We have oriented ourselves facing the customers, saying, we need to have a projects team which can help our customers. We have hundreds of pre-sales team members who can actually work with our partners, because our partners may not have the know-how for every kind of service, right? So that's where we can bridge that gap. We have a whole lot of focus which we have done on data. We have our own demand gen center, which has basically been formulated in Chennai, for the growth of our partners. So there are many, many initiatives like this which our partners can basically leverage. We also have, I think the most important thing for us is customer experience. Customer experience which our partners can provide their customers, and customer experience which we can provide to our partners. We have initiatives like Partner Advisory Board, our Net Promoter Scores, a whole lot of things where we capture insights from partners so we can give a better customer experience to them as well. So I think those are all the things which our partners can really leverage.
These are really very, very industry critical insights. You really shed light upon the mystical world of IT distribution, and you brought alive the concept of distribution as a service, which is taking the distribution world by storm. Thanks for your useful insights, sir. Thanks.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Pleasure talking.
All the best for the day.